the heart of a warrior. What does it mean to be one? Determination, aggressiveness, overcoming. Teams depend on these hungry souls. It takes more than just strength. It takes more than just practice. There are so many warriors out there. So we return to crown a new champion. So squad up. It's match day.
In the driver's seat of the series, but if MWII wants to make that change, now is a good time to start. Out of Knights Templar, a free 40 seconds, now another 15. They're gonna get basically a full 60 on P4. Get out, I work it out. And I'll be somewhere that you need me, and I'll be holding my breath, waiting for you to show.
Hope is hope right now. Oh, Lord! Oh, feed him!
7 lead, season 3 thus far. God damn it, I'm hyped. K7, you just got a trade here.
Yo, what's cooking, gamers? K7 is back live again. The gaming chef here with the beautiful graph. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I'm just ready for some good Call of Duty action we have coming your guys' way. Clemson eSports going up against Aspyre, and I know, Chef, that last week you happened to catch Aspyre going up. They ended up losing 1-3 against one of the teams in that Group C division. How are you feeling about this Aspyre coming into a Clemson that just came off a hot 3-0 against Safari Esports?
Yeah, so that first round they went against Final Form, and they definitely showed out. The stat line was pretty close between the teams. It was really kind of back and forth, but Final Form really came out towards the tail end of all of those matches. And Aspyre, they were able to come out quite hot at the beginning of each round, and I believe they were a control team, and the only round they did win was the control. It's kind of weird being that control team being your strength, you know, with the percentage of times you actually rely on that control round isn't as heavy as, you know, the twice you play hardpoint and twice you play S&D. But, you know, if you're not good on that control, then, you know, the 3-0 is always possible. So, you know, like they went 3-1 on that first round. Maybe it comes up, but I don't know. Hopefully that they got their players together. I know that they have a pretty good lineup. Their S&D stats are pretty strong. I know that you took down some notes on the stats here. So why don't we go over some of the players we're looking at?
So first we'll go over from the roster of Aspyre right now, as we actually have, it will be Bonk, Sue, Pups, and Sus. And the one player to highlight who had the best series last week, it was Bonk. He sits at an overall of 0.97, so none of these guys are currently sitting above a 1.0, so that does concern me heading on in to this series. But like you said, it's the opening week. Maybe they're just kind of getting those first map jitters out, and so hopefully they're able to kind of turn that one up in the hard point. Bonk sits at a 1.07, and then the search and destroy is where they ended up getting that map win. Or you said it was control, but it looks like search and destroy. He sits at a 3-0, so he wants to recreate that success.
Yeah, 3-0 is definitely great in S&D. That means you're carrying triple your weight. That means that you're getting out there, you're getting kills that can't be traded, and you're just a real menace out there to be reckoned with. And I don't believe anyone on this team is a sniper. I think it's just all just straight out gunplay, and players just sticking to their strengths. You know, SMG sticking to their routes, ARs locking down lines, and Bonk, I seen him going pretty hot out there. Sue and Sus and Pups, you know, those are also pretty great players. You know, it's a team that's not going to sit down. They're going to be fighting like the entire time. But I say let's look at Clemson. Let's see what stat lines we got there, Graf.
Yeah, and for the side of Clemson, the guy who just absolutely turned it up against Safari Esports, it was Spike. He sits at a 3.0 overall. So that's a guy you have to watch out for. And he sits at a 2.12 in the hard points and a 2.67 in the search. And I don't even want to know. I don't want to look at that control stat line if he's sitting up there. And then the one player that is kind of a little bit lagging behind, it is Classy. He sits at a 1.55. I mean, a healthy numbers either way, but he had a 0.81 hard point and then a 1.0 search and destroy. So I imagine he is that entrant submachine gun players, which don't necessarily always line up the stat or light up the stat line, but they do the dirty work when it needs to get done.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the control stats. Either someone didn't fill it out, or someone's a little cracked, because no one on their team has any deaths for control ever.
Oh, no.
So I think it is a little messed up. So we don't know exactly what's going on there. But I mean, the KDs between Hardpoint and S&D are all very, very nice. These players are out there going crazy. You know, we got Spike, BMO, Classy, and Wheezy tonight. The starting four, I know that It's Demise and Zoptech were subbing in a few times here. But, you know, I believe we've got the full starter set up tonight. Clemson, a legitimate team, too. You know, they got the football team and all that. And they got the name. They got the players. They got the stats. So, I mean, on paper, they got tonight, but from what I've seen from Aspyre, I definitely could see them giving it their all. What do you think here?
Yeah, I definitely see Aspyre at least putting up a good fight. I know Bonk, you will not go down easy, especially in that AR position, in that AR role. I do expect this one. Unfortunately, I do think it's going to be a 3-0 for Clemson, just the way that stat line looked. Even if it was a tiny bit skewed, everybody was looking like they're well above a 1.0. And when you have nobody who is sitting above it on the other side, that's a question for concern for me. But I like how you brought up, you know, the lesser known Clemson football team, because if I'm not mistaken, you were telling me that you actually cooked for them on one of the weeks that they lost last year's. Can you confirm nor deny that?
Yeah. So, you know, the food was too good, and I guess they just had to stay home and, you know, just keep chewing on the dessert or something. I don't know. But for real, though, I did cook for a Carolina team. They were orange. I don't remember. I cooked for so many football teams. It's insane. But I do believe Clemson was one of them on the list. They do have a lesser known football team that does okay. They do okay out there with a pretty big fan base. So we'll see how their COD team lines up against it. Let's see what maps we're doing.
Yeah, we can hop into the maps right now as you get to see it. We're going to be starting off on that Embassy hardpoint. We'll go to that map 2 for the Breenberg Hotel. Map 3 is Fortress Mercado on the 4th. And then if to round it all out, if we get there, it will be Al Bagra Fortress. But Chef, I mean, just kind of looking at these first 3 maps, what do you think is going to be the advantage that Aspyre needs to, you know, potentially take one of these, and which one, or potentially all 3, do you think they're going to take?
I believe that the map that they did win that I seen was Hotel. They had great control over it. It was the control mode. You know, they had the classic hit B, then take A, you know, the good stuff, but they're going to have to bring that into Fortress this time, which is an interesting map for control. Definitely Embassy is a very, like, strong, gun-skilled map, good positioning, good teamwork map. And Clemson, I haven't seen anything from them, but from that stat line, I feel like they might take this hard point. And I love that we're seeing 3 different maps coming out. Rocking into Hotel S&D. I think that Aspire's going to take some rounds on S&D, but I mean, the stat line don't lie, unless it's lying. It could be lying. You know, their control stats lying for me. So something might be messed up there, but from what I'm looking at, the 3-0's there, but I'm going to go 3-1. I think Aspyre might pull something out.
Aspyre taking one map. I love to see it, but on the side of Clemson, I think it's going to be their respawns. Just looking at everything, they clearly have that chemistry that worked for them in that first one, getting the 3-0, and they're ranked #1, I think, in the league at the moment. And we'll just happen to see if they, you know, live up to the hype. That's going to be the biggest question. But on the side of Aspyre, I think there's 2 players you got to be looking at, right? It's got to be Pups. It's got to be Sus, because they sat at a .79, a .75 overall over that first series. And so you have to allow yourself to kind of get going early, and maybe it's that submachine gun roll and, you know, an AR. It's sometimes so difficult to get set up if you don't have an AR watching those lanes and allowing those submachine guns to get that forward type of pressure, especially in a map like Embassy where it is so heavy on rotations. Your ARs are going to have long lanes of sight they can watch. So that's going to be the big thing I'm going to be looking out for Aspyre.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm just watching Clemson for the first time here. That's what I'm going to be looking at. See if the stat line is lying or not. You know, the 3-2 and their worst player being a 1.5 KD. They're definitely out there slaying. They got objective time. They got some great defense, so they're out there on the objective as well. It looks like Wheezy is their point man for hard points, so we'll be looking for him out there. I believe the players are almost ready here as we wait for one more player. Oh, I guess they're ready. Let's get in it. I'd say, Graf, anything else you want to add?
No, I don't think so. You took the words right out of my mouth. Let's get this series started as we'll be kicking it off here on the Hardpoint Embassy and going on into this map. And I think coming into MW2, what they've done so well, right, is they really make you focus on the little things. How good is your team chemistry? Are you reading the spawns well? And those rotations is the biggest thing, because you're able to lock down these hills for a majority of the full 60 seconds. And so that's why it matters. Do not get broken. I've seen a lot of teams who have that rotation, but they get broken early. But Chef, we have this matchup for the K7 League, Aspyre versus Clemson eSports. Let's get it underway.
Yeah, really excited to see Clemson out here on the big screen for K7. Happy to cast them, of course, with you, Graf, as well. My voice isn't 100% due to being a little sick today, so I won't be 100%, but Graf, you're always out there at 100%. Definitely excited to get this one on the way.
Yeah, it's going to be a great start as already. We're going to kick off with the side of Aspyre. It's going to be Sue watching over the middle of the map, seeing if he can find any of those players, but I already like what they're doing. At least try to get a little bit of this P1 time, because a majority, it ends up going to the clock. Everybody's worried about those P2 spots and rotations. But if you can get any significant chunk of time on P1, that's a job well done, even if you don't win those rotations. But it has just been Spike. He's been kind of sitting on the back of this map. And you will have number 8, Sus, trying to work his way. It's going to be a big 1v1 as he does end up winning. And actually, a team kill comes on in from Sue in long range. So Aspyre already kind of doing a great job trying to contest those rotations early.
Yeah, from what I've seen from Aspyre before, they're really good at the beginning of the rounds, but maybe it's their lack of strategies that they're just able to get read very easily, that Clemson might be able to turn this one around in their favor once they read exactly how Aspyre is playing this. But as you said here, they had a great start. They're breaking up these rotations. We got Sus in there. Hopefully can win this kill against Spike. Not sure how they're looking out there. Ooh, it looks like he's going to be peeking out there. Spike's holding it down, though, for his team. The spawns are definitely still there for Clemson to get this point. The stat line is very close. Sue is looking very nice out there with the 6 and 3. No hill time, though, but we do have a battle here. But only 20 seconds left on this point. It's time to start looking at this next one.
Yeah, and I want to point out, it was number 6. It was Sue. I think, not sure if he got gifted a spawn or not, but he definitely worked his way through that rotation. As I say that, the teamwork from Clemson comes through, but again, it was the playmaker we were highlighting. Bonk ends up finding 2 right on top of that P3. BMO, he's going to be the first player to try to contest this, but immediately he goes down. So Aspyre, they're doing a great job here early. I like how you said they have those early types of starts, and so maybe Clemson just off to a little bit of a slow roll, but once they get going, it could be a potential freight train.
Yeah, and looking at Classy sitting at a 1 and 6 here, pretty rough though. It looks like he's going to be the point man though, the only one with points on his entire team. No one else has even touched a hard point yet. I mean, I get it if that's your point man, he has to get on there, but if one of your teammates is close, you got to rotate positioning like in your title as well. What exactly you're doing for the team. Because if someone's struggling, like someone else is going to have to pick that up, and you have to rely on your captain there to make those decisions on the fly. Because, it ain't like football. The quarterback ain't the quarterback all the time here. Your point man might be able to rotate with the anchor and so on, especially depending on their location on the map. So it'd be interesting to see how Clemson can adjust these playstyles on the fly from here on.
Yeah, and I want to point out that it was Classy who just won a massive 1v1 and essentially just gave him that last 25 seconds of the P3. But once again, it's Aspyre. They're on these rotations. And look at number 8. Sus has done such a great job of preserving his life, and he's just being so annoying. They know they have to hunt him down, but they're not able to do so. He wins another one on the backside. Classy finally decides to show himself coming out of top embassy, but Pups, he goes massive. 7 and 6 for him, 3 in a row. But all this entire team of Aspyre, they're all sitting positive.
Yeah, Aspyre is looking very nice here. I love how you said there, they have to kill him. You just get yourself in a spot to where you're just winning easy fights, but they literally can't get to that point because they have to kill you. And now we're getting to my favorite hard point on the map. You already know why. It's the kitchen. See who's going to be the chef for it. They're all meeting 50-50. Get your trophies down. This is such a trophy point because they're just throwing everything they got in their tacticals, primaries, grenades, everything. But look at Aspyre. They are chefing it up in there. You're seeing Spike try to get into the side. I'd like to see them push up, get them spawns out of there. Because like I said, this kitchen's just all about refill and spawn, get back in, die, spawn, get back in. We'll see.
Yeah, and right now, Aspyre, they just made it look like a cakewalk out there. They were absolutely breaking right through that setup of Clemson, and I think, unfortunately, they were just a tiny bit too tight. In my opinion, a lot of times you see these teams kind of turtle up around the point, which in some hills, it is good that you like to have, maybe 2 or 3 around it, and then one kind of roaming, but they were all sitting in one generalized area. All the utilities came on in from Aspyre, and they got that easy break. And look at this score line. After the first set of rotations, it is roughly a 133-point game after the first set.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to be a 3-0 for Clemson. Maybe it's still the 3-1 for what I'm saying here, but I think after this map, we're going to have to readjust our our stats here that we're thinking, because Aspire's looking very good. But Clemson is, maybe they're sleeping. Maybe they'll wake up here and we'll see something different from them on map 2. But, I mean, the way it's looking, I think this one's pretty over with.
Yeah, and honestly, the one thing that Clemson just is letting happen again is off that opening break, Aspyre ended up getting 35 seconds off that P1, and they're already probably around 20 or even a little bit more, but Clemson, they finally win, you know, a few gunfights. They don't have the rotation as of yet, but it will be Wheezy. He wins one, not able to win the second in the back, but I'm curious how they are going to be able to hold on to this one. Let's go to a listen-in with Clemson eSports.
Push it up on your right, on your west side, Justin.
I got him.
I spawn. They're still gonna be spawning mid. One guy in embassy. Two mid.
Hey yo, laundry.
I'm weak on the Xbox.
One's
I'm
laundry.
trying to spin. I'm trying to put them all.
Bro, I'm getting triple naded. Yo, come on, regain.
One's on trailer.
Mid dead, and then P2 wall.
One's on P2, one's on trailer.
Yeah, P2. They're already pushing it. Milk. He's Xbox. We need to go new. Come on.
I'm up top new.
Weezy help on point. I got mid.
Two guys up top.
One's back alley.
Go
One's
up
back alley.
top.
Hey yo, two top. You have free pinch.
Shit. They got a truck gun.
Orange.
Sus is bottom orange. He's just bottom orange.
Milk.
I'm orange right now.
Look
I'm
at
folding.
Jeep. Bottom orange.
I got him.
Nice.
And there you have the listening with the side of Clemson. And honestly, Chef, it was a little concerning. You could hear a lot of frustration in their voice. And it was saying, hey, guys, we need to regain. But it just simply is not happening.
Yeah, it wasn't like, hey, Spike, you need to watch this. Wheezy, you need to do this. It was pretty much just people being reactive instead of proactive. And I love how you say that all the time. And that's really what it was. And it was very quiet too. I feel like it wasn't that active. You know, there was a couple call outs. It was like, oh, we need to regain this. There's no, this is how we regain this. And you know, that's really how they're going to fall apart here. And like you said, they sounded frustrated. As soon as you start losing and you get frustrated, you're going to lose faster.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And already it's going to be 10 seconds away. And I mean, it shows what a difference 1 week can make. Aspyre, they are taking down the Titan in Clemson eSports. So they're over the #1 overall ranked team. They will fall. And I mean, it was a fall, or a far fall, 250 to 76.
Oh my. Almost 200-point clubdom. I mean, Aspyre, amazing job out there. Really everyone stood out. Sue, 26 kills, Pups 24, Sus 20, Bonk 18. Everyone looking really fresh out there. 235. Oh my gosh, 235 for one of their players there. I forget who the name was, but oh my gosh, like what a match. Like Aspyre really had their stuff together. I don't know if that's just their map. I know it's not their game mode, and maybe Clemson is just caught out there sleeping. So I mean, we'll see how this next map at Hotel does. What do you think Clemson here needs to do to turn this around?
I mean, honestly, you could just hear the frustration in the comms, right? Like you said, they weren't regaining. And so, hey, maybe it was just a little bit too much of a fast-paced game for that map 1. You saw their submachine gun. It was classy. Like we highlighted, he was kind of sitting in the lower end of the KD in comparison to the team. He didn't have a great map 1. And so now he needs to be able to pick it up in the map 2. But when you looked at Aspyre, I want to point out there wasn't any, highlight type plays. There wasn't any highlight reel clips that you were seeing. It was just good old-fashioned teamwork right there. Everybody was getting 1 or 2 kills at a time. They were doing it in perfect synchronization, and everything just came together for Aspyre. I mean, honestly, that map one was just clinical.
Yeah, and I like how you pointed out there on the kitchen point. Clemson had it. They had the rotation. They had the people there first, but pretty much all 4 were in that room, and you heard them. Oh, I just got triple naded. Oh, I just got stunned. Like, they keep getting in this spot that, like, you're getting triple naded because you're all too close. You're too clumped up. Like, sure, get 1 guy, maybe 2 guys in there on the point. Get 1 watching the hall. Get 1 watching back. 1 watching front. Maybe, like, just position them somewhere else so they can refill in, because. And it still plays into that reactive to proactive, right? Because if all 4 are in that hard point, you're just being reactive. You're waiting for them to come. If you're proactive in that situation, you're spreading out a bit. And even being spread out, you have a guy even closer to that next hard point, so the rotations come even easier. And I seen Aspyre doing that whole first map. They had everyone exactly where they needed them. And they were getting 2 kills and dying. And I mean, a 2 KD's right where you want to be.
Yeah, Aspyre, they just look so good on that map as well. Everything was coming in together, and even pointing out, saying, hey, I got triple naded. That just shows Aspyre they are using their tacticals, right? You see a lot of these kind of amateur teams not use them, and that's the biggest thing. I think that some of these, these teams have to realize, I don't want to see a tactical, I don't want to see a lethal sitting in your belt when you go down. And you even see it in the professional scene. They just say, hey, eat that grenade, and hopefully we get something lucky. But a lot of the times they have everything on point. Teams, they will go through, they'll throw 10 grenades, and say 1 doesn't hit, they'll have to go back, redo it. But hey, we're heading on in to the map 2, Greenberg Hotel. This is where you have to regain if you're Clemson. You got handed your first loss. This is where it's going to really test your grit. And Aspyre, just looking at their stat line for Search and Destroy, it's looking pretty good. So this could be a, a quick 2-0 start for Aspyre.
Yeah, and Clemson also had a great start, as we know, for S&D on their first game. But, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe they were, getting a little hot on that first game and, caught sleeping out tonight. But we know Sue, we know Sus, they're good. Bonk is stellar at S&D, so we'll definitely be watching him for this event here. But, I mean, we see some tacticals out. We've seen some nades get thrown out here from Aspyre. Is Clemson doing it? Do they have the nade spots? Those are pretty huge. Sus gets a first blood. Oh, we do see a sniper. Okay.
And yeah, maybe they're switching up the strategy from, like you saying, you pointed out that, hey, there isn't a sniper on this team, or at least the first time that you casted them. So, hey, maybe they're listening and saying, we need to kind of change things up. Maybe we didn't have such a great first series, and they really went back to the drawing board. And I don't think, or maybe 1 player falls from Aspyre, but already they are rocking and rolling in this map 2.
Yeah, wow, like, just clean sweep there. Clemson didn't have much going on. Sus rocking the sniper, holding down lines. What an amazing round here. They got the bomb down. No one died. Aspire's out there really cooking it up, honestly. It's going to be interesting how they can do it on defense here, because it's definitely going to be a little bit slower of a round. Hopefully you stay on board here with Sus, see if he is rocking that sniper. Yes, he is. Oh, we got a little counter snipe battle. Okay.
And this is where you do not want to challenge. I think he has that sight locked down. Wheezy knows. But again, it is Aspyre with their first blood. Sue, a 3-0 hot start. But you and I have talked about this. On the hotel, it's kind of a feast or famine map, right? You really know how you want to play it. It's usually a lot of 6-1s, 6-0s, 6-2s. Or it's going all the way to a 6-5. There's really no middle ground with this map. And so far, Aspyre are playing this one so patient. And the bomb is down in such a difficult spot for Clemson. They're going to have to try to regain. But Pups, he comes on in. He finds the flank. And now they're having to hunt for him. And this causes Wheezy to have to turn his eyes. But I love this play by Pups. He's just tucking himself in a corner.
Yeah, that's all he has to do. I mean, and look at how Clemson has yet to get a kill, but Bonk also has yet to get a kill. All right, Sue finally falls there. Like Aspyre still has more ground that they can cover here. But Clemson does bounce back here. Spike is getting some kills. Bomb is not in his hands. It's kind of out in the open here, and Sus got the sniper ready for it. There he is. Wow, what a line of sight. It's shocking that he was able to get that. I'm sure the call out was there because he hasn't moved the entire game. And Spike ran out of time, it looks like. Yeah, Aspyre wins it. So, I mean, you got to be faster than that.
Yeah, and Spike showing why his KD is through the roof because, my God, he just hopped on that ledge and started shooting and hit quite a few good shots. And if you are the side of Sus right there, I mean, it's a little strange that he didn't reposition after he already found a kill. He sat there literally, like you said, the entire round. So it was Spike who had that information. So maybe try to switch that one up, not stay in the same spot for the entire round. But I mean, sometimes when you're in these high octane games, that might actually kind of confuse some of the players. Be like, this guy's been sitting here the entire time. That's kind of surprising, but it did not fool Spike. And back on the offense again, it will be Aspyre, and it's basically a 3v3, and then the island players in Sue, and then number 7 Classy. Maybe gonna have a big 1v1 in the kitchen if Sue decides to get a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I like how everyone finally slowed it down here from Clemson. They're not getting wiped immediately. I think Spike kind of put a little heart back into the soul of Clemson eSports here. And, you know, it's a little bit different of a strategy. They're trying to go for this B site, but look, it is only Classy to defend it. They're hitting this thing hard, going right through the restaurant into the kitchen. Classy is the chef. He got the soup cooking, but he is laying on the floor trying to sweep under the fryer, and it's not going to cut it as the bomb's looking to go down. Oh, here we go. Finally pops up. That's 1. That's 2. Looking for 3. Oh, Sue does get the trade now. 3 versus 2. Clemson finally has the upper hand for the first time in the night. Let's see what he could get done. Ooh, Sue is cooking out there. Looks like he's burning something on the stove. No, he's just burning Clemson eSports here. Wheezy and Bimo let the pistol comes out. No! No, it was so close. Clemson on the board.
Oh my goodness, what was that pistol? This man is the opposite of John Wick out there.
Oh, it was pistol fight.
Oh my goodness, but I mean, it wasn't even a fight. It was Bimo who just turned and said, you just missed 12 shots. And then he's like, okay, I'll get you now. But a little bit of a difficult round. Aspyre, they did end up getting 2-piece. They didn't clear out the kitchen as quickly or, you know, as cleanly as you would like, and it kind of let that player in Classy find those freebies. But I want to point out, Sue kind of in that last spot, he just kind of sprinted towards Bomb, but he had his player coming on in for that pinch. I think if they pinched at the right time, they would have still been able to get that Bomb down if they found the kill and immediately picked it up. So I think maybe a little bit more patience, even when there's 10 seconds on the clock. Every second makes a difference.
Yeah, and here we go back to my favorite spot here in the kitchen. I do like that Sus repositioned a little, but I don't like his spot. He's not really helping his teammates too much over there. I'd like to see him get up a little closer, maybe rotate through mid. Clearly, the bomb is over in kitchen. You know, maybe Sus is a one-trick pony with a sniper here, can only really work that one spot with lack of experience. I mean, sure, he's watching them rotate through their spawn, but I don't see him ever getting that far. Classy is up top here. And Sus just isn't able to see it. I see him trying to get to a more favorable position to his team. That bomb is in the air. They can't really get over it. Bimo got a double out of that one. Wow.
Yeah, and I thought for a moment they were maybe thinking about repositioning, but look at Sus. He finds a quick snipe. He opens up the door, and he maybe causes Bimo to run on out, and Bimo's on 4 in a row, so this could be a big kill to at least halt maybe one of these streaks. As he's taking a little bit of a deep round. Does Sus maybe decide to hop this one? But he has no idea. The dead silence is pop. Bimo, he should find the freebie. He does, and Clemson, they regain. As once again, it seems like the kitchen seems to be the spot for them.
Yeah, I think that if he could have diffused it, if he went immediately on it to diffuse, Sus, you know, it just hits a lot of players. You know, they want to look around first, make sure the site's clear, and then diffuse it. And then everyone knows if the site's clear, they're doing a full rep. So you either got to fully commit to defusing or fully commit to waiting to find them. Don't do both. It's never gonna work ever.
Yeah, you can definitely say hindsight 2020. Clearly, he was 25-25, so really not looking either direction correctly. So it is sus, though, back with the sniper, and I like how you pointed out, hey, maybe he's just kind of a one-trick pony because all he's been doing is hugging this entire south side of the map, and still nothing has been found. But Classy, this time, instead of staying in the kitchen, he tries to work his way up through restaurant. Unfortunately, it was Sue on that island. He wins that gunfight once again, and the bomb will go down. Wheezy, he thinks that maybe that player got a bomb, and look at that Call of Duty timing. He maybe heard the footsteps, and they're bonked once again. He will find that kill. Sue again, and the last player left alive, it is none other than the captain, Spike, who sits at 3-3. But unfortunately, it's a 1v4, and you got 20 seconds left on the clock, and it's going to be over.
Spike would be the man to get it done. We've seen him turn up before, but let's also mention that the last time we seen him turn up was the last time he got a kill. And speaking of last time he got a kill, Wheezy hasn't gotten a kill since Hardpoint. so you know, Clemson definitely has some room for improvement, and the stat line's close. You know, so you know, if these players can improve a bit, I think that the games would be a lot closer. I feel like it's more Aspyre, even though it is 3-2. See Wheezy back on the sniper again. I mean, sitting on that big old donut 0-4. It might be time to rotate off that sniper and work towards a different class.
Yeah, and it's about those mid-map adjustments, but Wheezy says, no thank you, Chef. I'm going to hang on to this sniper as he just gets the heady. I mean, what a shot that was. A virtual quickscope for him. So Clemson already thinking about that A site, and it's going to be number 3. Pups versus number 7. Classy is, once again, he worked his way outside of the kitchen and through the restaurant into the middle of the map. He finds one, and now they have this full site control, and it's going to be number 2. Sue is going to have to be the player to potentially find the most opportune moment to get the pick and maybe catch the guy off a bomb if he peeks it at the right angle. And unfortunately, he does guess wrong, so now you have a 2v4 retake.
Yeah, 2v4, we know that one's rocking the sniper. I don't think he was able to get up to the position. You know, once your sniper is down, that's an entire line that just got opened up for your team. And Spike even got a kill there on bot. Yeah, that's just going to be a clean sweep there. But once that first kill goes down and it's untraded, which is usually how snipers play along, you know, it really gives the team the confidence, the knowledge of where everything is happening, and they're able to move on and adjust their positioning from there.
Yeah, and it's honestly the one thing I do kind of want to point out. It's those 1v1s on the outside. Yeah, Wheezy got that first blood, but it really came down to Classy taking down that flank. I believe it was Pups. Usually it's Sue being kind of left on that island player role. Pups, unfortunately, not watching the correct angle, and Classy has been just kind of testing the boundaries of where he's going. He's sitting in the kitchen, and this time it is going to be a straight-up 2v7. It's Classy versus Sue, and this is kind of those gunfights I was talking about on the flank, but Classy, he's just going to go. And I love the map positioning that they are taking away from Aspyre.
Yeah, map positioning for sure. I mean, they got him cornered here on A. They're not getting out of there. They're all closing in. Sue's really the only one that can make a big play here against Clemson. There we go. Catches him off middle. He had that spot. He had it cleared, but he wasn't watching from back. Oh my gosh, did they not call him? That he was on column? Like, come on now. Oh, wow. Aspyre just ate that through. Like I said, he's going to be the man to make a play, and he definitely did. Got 2 off of mid. Everyone else pretty much turned around trying to get this guy, especially off of a double. Bonk here. Amazing job watching the bomb. All around Aspyre. Great teamwork.
Yeah, and maybe it was the comms. Maybe nobody gave that call out, or we heard it, right? They weren't being that proactive type of role, so they were being reactive. And when that happened, nobody turned around. Nobody was covering each other's angles, so maybe the chemistry isn't quite there for Clemson yet like we thought it was. So that's just kind of a big mistake on their end, and I love what they're doing. They are changing this one up, and I think Pup saw a few of the members, and he is rotating back. Wheezy will catch one, trying to get aggressive through the middle. Pup stays alive and finds it so quickly into the 3v2 as it is Wheezy once again finding another, and this completely just stops the push from Clemson. Is Aspyre, both members, they're set up in the kitchen, and I like this, the decisive play call. They're maybe looking at going to this A site. The dead silence push doesn't work. The trade is there. This would be a technical 1v3 for Sue.
You know, Wheezy put the sniper down, got 2 kills in 1 round. You know, maybe keep it away because he clearly got it figured out. You know, pushed up, got 2 kills, great positioning, still alive. And this is only the 2nd round that they were ever up on man advantage. Yeah, Wheezy, wow, look at that. Seriously, like, put the sniper away, man. You got this automatic thing figured out.
Oh my goodness, you're really on Wheezy's case right now as he ends up putting away the sniper and picks up 3. But I like what you said. All he needed to do was just hug himself in the middle of the map and take a little bit of the corner away. But wow, what a close map 2 we have, Clemson. It's just been a back and forth ballot between both of these teams. And Sue 10-5 on the other side. It's the teamwork for Clemson. I mean, Wheezy, he was sitting at 1-5 prior to that round, but definitely picking it on up, sitting at 4-5. So they're kind of all sitting around even. So they're really making sure they get those trades. And already the aggression comes on in for Sus. He gets caught out by BMO, but again, the trades are there from both teams.
Yeah, and the trades come so quickly. The callouts have to be extremely crispy from Aspyre because they almost let no one slip through the cracks. They just come in there, clean it up. Wheezy's still alive. Not sure what gun he's rocking this time. I think it probably going to be an automatic after what we've seen. He is on that 3 streak. Yeah, there we go. Rocking an AR. Just working his way through here. He knows that someone's up top. They're kind of cornered on A, but that's also where they want to be. They're just got to clear this apartment building. And the AR is not exactly the gun you want in that situation, so I can see Aspyre possibly winning a gunfight there if he can hop down and wipe him out. But they have to make a move here, and it doesn't look like he's moving.
Yeah, and once again, it was Classy trying to work on that flank. Sue shuts him down this time, but Pups, he takes down Spike in the top bedroom, so great job from him. And now Classy, he's just trying to get aggressive through middle of the map. The bomb will go down, and I think one thing you have to point out is when you see that bomb going down, or at least you know it is, you don't necessarily need to take those gunfights and try to rip them off of it. Play for those retakes, right? Play in an even 3v3. Now you put yourself out of position. Wheezy in a 1v3, now a 1v2, 20 seconds left, but the side of Aspyre, they've placed themselves well. He's on 4 in a row, so this could make the difference. And oh, he knows he has to go hunting and find this player. Will he get it? Yes, he will, but I just think it's not enough time left on the clock, and Bonk knows it. He's just going to play the clock, goes out, and will win the gunfight. Aspyre, by the skin of their teeth, will take it, and now on match point.
I do like that Bonk peaked that at like 9 seconds. So if Wheezy immediately won that fight, he still could have got that defuse possibly. So I think he should have waited a hair for that peak. Wheezy, great job. Like I said, keep that auto in your hands. Amazing gun skill out there. This guy's a force to be reckoned with in S&D now. I feel like he left a lot of kills off the table, but we'll see the sniper again. Hey, let's see it, Wheezy. Let's see it. All right. I think you already burned this setup up, but let's see you take a head off here, buddy.
I literally am just laughing at how much you are mad at this man. I mean, you could have cooked for him once, and this is how you're showing your gratitude. But Wheezy sitting at 6-6. And the rest of the team, I love the aggression coming out from BMO and Classy. They are completely clearing out this backside, and now they're going to work on their way up through back patio. And this could be it, the big 1v1 gunfight. It's going to be, I believe, Bonk, who's sitting up top. And is he waiting for this challenge? No, it was BMO who ends up getting it. So a great job for Clemson getting that first blood. That should allow the entire site to get the bomb down. And what is Clemson doing? They just allow the entire team of Aspyre to work around the backside flank. And now you're kind of put into a position where you have to plant quickly.
Yeah, Wheezy kind of got pushed in the corner there with the sniper and then just got flanked around. The pistol wasn't doing much here. BMO with a great turnaround, but getting traded out now. 2v1. Classy does have the dead silence, but I think they know exactly where he is. Definitely does for how hot he's coming in. Lost a lot of shots there, down to 10. He's on the low ground. Both players closing in, and that's going to do it there for Aspyre. Cleans it up. That is our search and destroy. Clemson, you know, they woke up, but they didn't bounce all the way back, and they ended up losing that one 6-4.
Yeah, and I think on that last round, what kind of costed them, right, was the fact that they didn't get that bomb down quickly enough. They had full site coverage at around a minute, 50 seconds left, and they waited until about 25, 30 seconds to try to get it down, and then immediately somebody got tagged up. He had to stop the plant. And I think that's just kind of those micro decisions that really made a difference here for Clemson. Is now they sit down 2-0 against Aspyre coming on into the control. And I know what you were saying, Chef, in the pregame, Aspyre, they looked good. It was on the Greenberg Hotel, at least in the control. But now it's going to go to Fortress where your submachine guns have to slay out.
Yeah, and we know Bonk was the S&D master, but it was Sue that time, 13-6. Ay. Wow, he definitely cooked it up out there. Chef's kiss. I love me some nice S&D for sure. Clemson, though, they were cooking it up in the kitchen. Definitely some great plays around there. I would have liked to see him play it a little more. It seemed like they were just going for apartment a little too often, but the kitchen was working, and they just weren't running it again. And most of their rounds was kitchen plays, whether it be offense or defense. That's really all I got, honestly. I mean, Clemson had it. They had it, but they just didn't have it all together at the same time.
Yeah, and if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it, because going to the kitchen, it was working for them. I like how you said that. They ended up winning, I think, 3 of their 4 rounds on that kitchen side of the map. So maybe they should have just kind of stuck to it until the side of Aspyre was able to adapt, but they didn't. They decided to go back. Man, I mean, I hate to point it out too, but Wheezy brought out the sniper and they didn't win the round. So, that's just got to be one thing you got to keep in the back of your mind. But before we head on in to the map 3, El Bagra Fortress, we're going to cut it to a short break. 1, it was 250 to 76. The search and destroy Breenberg Hotel, it was a 6-4 in favor of Aspyre. And Clemson, this is not the way that we were expecting this series to turn on out. They're sitting down in the pit 0-2. I mean, what are your thoughts so far on this series?
You know, looking for how Hardpoint went, looking for how S&D was going. The way the steps are stacking, it's map 3, they should have it. The way, you know, they pretty much were dog water the first map. Second map, they showed up. They showed up, but couldn't finish it. And map 3, we'll see. But I know Aspyre is a control map, so or a control team, so that could play to their benefit and 3-0 them. But you know, Clemson's turning it around. So you know, I'd like to see a fourth map, especially. You know, see what Clemson has to offer here out on the stream. But I don't know. What do you think they have to do here, Draft, to win this next one?
Man, I think the biggest thing is their comms, right? We just went into the first time. We're going to go back to that quite a bit until we hear the improvements. Is everybody was kind of you know, not coming off the way that they should. It was a little bit quiet. You only had one player trying to, you know, even remotely say, hey, let's regain. But like you said, he didn't say how or when, what to do. And so maybe they're kind of just spiraling right now. And I know we'll end up going to a listen in here for Aspyre later on in this map, but they just really need to get the chemistry going, get those trades effectively, and start winning, I think, more 1v1 gunfights, because it has been Sue that has been tearing them up.
Yeah, Sue has been doing an amazing job tonight. Looking like they're doing a B cap and then switch to A type of deal. I mean, we'll see. But the defense looks pretty tight here from Clemson. A good A defense, not much really in much of B defense, but they really just didn't push up. It's really all on Spike, but he could get done here. Wheezy wants to rotate over. You know, the tacticals coming out, the primaries coming out, but it's looking all white in the kill feed. Clemson's defense is holding out here.
Yeah, and I thought for a moment Aspyre kind of made a smart play. It was 2 and 3 bonks and pups who were kind of just sat there while the entire side of Clemson, they worked towards the middle of the map. And there was a player sitting right in the middle of the street, and they just kind of sat in those double door sections on the north side of the map. Nobody decided to go out and help their teammates coming off a spawn, and basically they just got picked off. Then they tried to sneak onto B. It didn't work. But I think just if you had one of those players kind of just peek on out, take down one of the Clemson's guys, it would at least help your 2 players coming off a spawn make the numbers a little bit more manageable and try to hop onto that A site.
Yeah, and they were 8 down there, and you know, 8 is a nice round number to be like, hey, you need 2 full team wipes to get back in this if you're Aspyre. And Pups is working it, right? There's a whole team wipe right there as the kills come back. Aspyre, yikes, that looked pretty nice here. 25 seconds on the clock. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I thought Pups, I mean, you get all that work done and basically you're just getting that A site capture and nobody worked towards that B, and they might not even get it if BMO comes up huge and he finds one. Unfortunately not able to find that second, but Pups, he did a great job of just being annoying, right? Just keep rotating yourself around the enemy spawn, find a few kills, and right now what kind of looked to be like a dominating start to the Clemson side are maybe kind of starting to falter at the finish line.
Yeah, A is down. That put another minute on the clock here as we run it down. You know, with only 1 spot left, there's only 1 to defend, but there's only 1 to attack, right? Sus sitting at 1 and 4. Yeah, he could pick that up. It's one of the main factors. They're down by 7 right now. I definitely think they need to get together off this respawn here and really go for the capture. Bonk, try to save your life, stay in that position, mess it up. He's in a great spot. Pups now getting a kill, working his way in as he is on the point, and look at that. That's almost a white BMO in a great spot to get some kills, and he does. Classy gets a kill, but gets traded out. Some progression possibly. It looks like, yes, we got a tick here on B. Clemson really falling apart here.
Yeah, and I love that play that you pointed out by Bonk. He just kind of waited for his opportune moment, and now it's Sus and Pups going off as his second tick. They've only had one guy on this point basically the entire time, and it is just slowly but surely going through, and I believe it is Pup still kind of sitting on in that fortress or that cannons part of the map. He finds another. He is on 6 in a row, and now Clemson, no lives remaining, and the cap comes through. Oh, it is just so difficult for Clemson right now.
Sus going from 1-5 to what, 7-5? He didn't move from that spot that entire B. He just stayed right there. Like I said, he needs to play his life. He played his life, played the position, played kills. He was just playing God that round, and he brought that whole team back. Seriously, good moves between Pups and Sus, and Sue and Bonk really just playing distraction. And they came back from an 8-kill deficit. That's 2 team wipes in a row. Wow. Clemson, like, they got to wake up.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I mean, they are truly wanting to aspire right now, like their opposing team's name. But Classy, he's sitting at 5-7, and he's trying to work his way towards that B site. And you do have one player pushed up, that is BMO. He's actually been doing a phenomenal job. Classy comes on in for the trade, but there is those consistent back and forth trades, and now it's going to be going towards Clemson. But the one player you don't want to run into, I think, out of this B site will be Sus. Yeah. As Spike, oh my goodness, he just had to miss him by a sliver, but I think he ended up backing down. So a great job from Aspyre, just kind of regaining here, but Clemson, they should be able to get this A cap for free.
Yeah, Bonk looking like he wants to keep them from rotating all together in his spot. There we go, Sus with the missile. Ooh, keeps them off of it. Look at Sue in there. And Sus around back, looking to circle this one out. Spike is on it. All right, A did get captured there, but I mean, that definitely slowed it down. But Aspyre is down by 3 bodies. Again, they're down a point. But they had a good wipe here, pushing everyone back, but nobody on B. No one watching that top side of the map. Pups does spawn there, so they could have some accidental positioning here, but I do like how spread out they are.
Yeah, and I don't really like that streak usage because, I mean, the A site basically gone already. You had one other player that was able to, find the other kill, but it just kind of seemed like it was a frivolous attempt, right? It just didn't feel like they were going to be able to do anything even if they got the team wipe. So, but Clemson, they're sit up by 2 lives. You have the B site to capture, which is going to be the most difficult one. And now you have a full setup from Aspyre, and you look at their stat line. They're all kind of sitting around even. And then one player, once again, in the respawn on Clemson. It is Classy who is lagging behind. He is sitting at 6-12. He needs to be able to start frying.
Yeah, now it's only a 3-kill deficit. Bonk does get a team kill there, unfortunately, with the nade. They're quite spread out. Classy is in a perfect position to mess this up, but he does fall there. And look at how far Clemson is back in this map. The positioning is just not great right now for Clemson. It's really on Wheezy and Classy to try and get through, because BMO is not going to make it out of that alleyway alive. We got 2 men looking at him. They're not going to be able to raw power this one. And the lives are now 2-kill deficit. 30 seconds on the clock. There's no ticks down on B. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and the one thing that's kind of an interesting setup that I don't necessarily like seeing, even though it is paying off for the side of Aspyre, is you had no player try to push up past the 50-yard line. You were just kind of waiting for those Clemson players to work towards you. Yeah, you're getting those picks, but what you want to do in control, you want to get past that 50-yard line and work towards the other team's spawn, because it causes all those eyes to have to turn, or at least 1 or 2 of them. But as it seemed like it was the side of Clemson, maybe to clutch it, but no, they all go down. Aspyre once again, they get it done, and now just 1 round away from getting the clean sweep.
Yeah, Clemson had it. They definitely had it that round. They had the A capture. They were in B hard. Like, they had Aspyre all over the map, just getting frantic, trying to get their positioning back. And they all just died, really, and they just lost their positioning, got pushed in the corner. Like how you put it there, the 50-yard line. Clemson couldn't get past it, and I'm gonna go on the other side here. I think Aspyre did great not pushing past it, because in this map, it's really more campy, or this game, it's more campy, right? It benefits the person waiting rather than the person pushing. And I think that did turn their kill deficit around, because they were down by 8-9 kills, and by the end of that, it was tied 5-5. So I think it did work out in their favor.
Yeah, Aspyre, they kind of just seem to kind of have these slow start to the rounds, and they pick it up when the going gets tough. So you can clearly tell they have the ice in the veins. And a stat line that I didn't get to point out in that last map, it was 6 first bloods on the side of Clemson to Aspyre's 4, and Aspyre ended up winning 6-4. So they do a good job winning a lot of those numbers down gunfights. So they do a great job at that. But Wheezy, he's starting to get these reads as, oh my goodness, Sue just rips them off the map. But I know we're curious how their comms are sounding. Let's go do a listening with Aspyre.
Corner right now.
Yeah, still got boat, guys.
They're gonna be boat.
Yeah, right. Top corner window. I need help with this guy.
Where is he? He went up. He's plot weak. You went back in. Top right now. He's gonna go. He's sitting archery.
Where is us?
Dead.
Okay. Yo, there's no one on time, though.
Still top.
Both corner dead.
Yo, there's no one on site, guys.
I'm hitting this with you.
Back steps.
I'm
Give
back.
me back steps, yeah.
He's back steps. Back ropes. I got wall bang. Shit, he's weak on time. Weak on B. Dead on the truck in the back.
Okay.
We'll just stay alive there. Just play
I'm
alive.
playing my life open.
What's closed?
One's on time, guys. One's on me, close.
Street. A.
I'm green dead.
One's in between the doors. He's in closer, for sure. Dead.
Nice. There's gonna be 1v1 somewhere, or like boat probably.
I
Straight
hit
back.
anyone.
And the one thing I want to point out is the fact that Aspyre, I mean, it was really only Bonk giving the callouts, in all honesty. I mean, you heard a few kind of players chip on in. It was Pups and then Sus, but honestly, there was almost nothing coming out of Sue, but the way that they are playing is they are triple stacking this, and it could be over.
Yeah, that was some pretty clean comms, really. Like, they're like, hey, whoever it was, you watch steps. Be like, yeah, there's one on steps. I got him. It was very clean. Like you said, there's really only one player talking, but yeah, everyone's pretty much doing their job. They're doing their strats. This is definitely their mode, and it seems to be their map as well. One tick left away from the clean sweep. And look at the positioning. They're over that so-called 50-yard line. Classy is there to try and defend it. Sue is on the point halfway through B. He does get taken out. And Sus and Pups are the B killers. So, and you see them on the bottom of the map there working very tight down there, trying to get up into B. It's really only Spike in the way. Spike, let's look at B, completely surrounded now. Let's see what BMO can get done. BMO is out of there. Oh my gosh. Graf, what's going on here?
I mean, just talk about a picture-perfect break, and it all started with that last player, I believe. That was Sue and Bonk. One player was sitting on the top side of cannons, and then he allowed his other player to just kind of work around that A side of the map, found that kill in Spike, and then ever since he found it, it was just basically like dominoes. The rest of the players fall. And Aspyre, what a series, and I would honestly give this one an upset of a series because they take it in a 3-0 fashion in the control as well as a 3-0 in the series.
Yeah, not expected. Numbers don't tell you everything, right? You're only as good as you showed up today. It's not even as good as your last game, right? You're as good as you are today, and they weren't it today. The first map, really not much positive to say about Clemson, so we'll just move on from there. Map 2, they showed up. They started out pretty weak. I think it was 0-2-0-3 start, and then finally they built their momentum, but they just couldn't pull it together. I would have liked to see more kitchen plays from them because it was working so well for them, and the apartment just wasn't doing it. Their sniper wasn't winning as many battles as I would have liked him to see. He was sitting on the donut for a while. He went to that full auto, and then everything evened out. throughout all the players there. And, you know, our listen in with Clemson, a little more reactive, pretty hectic over there. And then our listen in from Aspyre, very chill. I mean, you're sitting up 2-0. You won 2 rounds already. You're probably going to be pretty chill. And it just goes to show, if you're relaxed and you have been training and you have everything set, you know, you're going to do great. But if you're losing and now you're getting angry, now your comms are all messy, it's just snowballs and keeps going and keeps going. It's really on that captain of your team to be like, hey guys, that's enough of this. This is what we got to do. We got to bounce back.
Yeah, and I think maybe after that map 1 loss, it was just a little bit too far gone, and then especially how close the map 2 was, it just, everything just kind of unraveled at that point. They just weren't able to get anything going. The map 1, 250-76 on the hard point is 6-4 in the S&D for the map 2, and then a 3-0 for Aspyre. And honestly, they came out swinging. Like you said, it doesn't matter what happened last week. It's matter what you did this weekend today. And Aspyre, they showed up. And I mean, they look good on control. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of a rocky start on the kills department, but they just knew how they wanted to play that map.
Yeah, and you know, like we were saying, the bounce back from Clemson, Aspyre brought that in control. You know, 8-9 kill deficit, you know, down to the last point. No real players over there, and sus. And I mean, like seriously. And Pups over there, just absolute annihilation, taking that one over. And they really stole it, honestly. And I think Clemson, you know, they just didn't have that experience from being like, hey, we're behind. How do we get back from this? How do we recover? How do we bounce back? And maybe that's just some experience that they picked up tonight, you know, and really maybe some egos were in there. I'm not sure. From what I've seen from Clemson players, they all seem pretty chill and respectable. So not really sure what's going on with them today.
Yeah, hopefully they can regain for the week 3, as now they sit at 1-1 with a 3-3 map count on the side of Aspyre. I think they ended up bounding over them now, so they probably sit at that number 2 spot with a 1-1 but a 4-3 map record. So great job on them being able to take over. And this was a big series for them, I think, in the long run, to give them confidence. We've seen it where teams, they start slow, and once they kind of get to the middle of the season, if you're not getting too many wins, your confidence, it starts to dwindle. And then when you kind of go into these matches, right, you're not feeling good. You're not necessarily in the highest of spirits, and it just kind of downfalls from there. But Aspyre, a great bounce back week for them. And honestly, I think it was just kind of an upset of a series we weren't really expecting.
Yeah, 100% agree. I was not expecting it, but hey, that's the last time that I'm looking at the stats in this league and going completely off of that. You know, I seen what Aspyre could do, and they never gave up. And you know, I feel like Clemson might have gave up at a few times today. And you know, Aspyre just pushed through every single second, even when they were up 2-0. In map count, you know, we go into that control and they're down. You know, you could just lose 1 round. What's 1 round? No. They still fought every last second, pulled out their strats. I mean, this is only their 2nd game of the season. Aspyre has a lot of great games ahead of them, and I think that they're going to have a lot of good wins as well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think some takeaway from the series, Aspyre, be a little bit more consistent in the respawns. Your S&D, it was working for you. So I say maybe play a little bit more close-knit at times, and then your control, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're winning in the controls. Everything's going well. Just make sure you kind of keep those comms up. And then from the side of Clemson, right, you have to make sure you improve your comms. Everybody has to be sounding off. You cannot get down on each other. And then, I mean, this is probably the biggest takeaway. Wheezy, put away the sniper. Chef doesn't like it. We don't want to see it again in Search and Destroy. But, you know, in all honesty, it was a fun series to be able to cast. And it was a pleasure once again having you in the co-caster desk
yes,
there,
sir.
Chef.
Yes, sir. You know, we got that land coming up. You know, always great practicing. Huge shout out to Hero, always putting on a great event. No desk guy today. We're hiring, okay? Get out here, get on the desk. Great, amazing group. Thanks to all the people watching, and of course the amazing players we had tonight. We look at some division standings here. Graf, walk us through what we're looking at here.
Yeah, well, like I said, Clemson, they just kind of got leaped over by Aspyre. It was a 4-3 map count. That's what makes all that difference. In that final form, they were the team that took down Aspyre last week. They sit at 3-1, so they'll be going up against Safari eSports. So, you know, even though Clemson got that 3-0 against Safari, I don't know how good Safari is. So maybe they're just not that good at all, and Clemson just mollywopped them, and then Aspyre is a good team. They just got beat by a better one. It's very difficult to kind of tell where the division C is looking, but everywhere else you see it. NOLA, Pobo, they are sitting at the top. Millennium 7 and Trip Tech, and then Hyped Esports. Those divisions are going to be so much fun to watch. But again, you look at it, Aspyre, they leap up to that number 2 spot.
All right, yeah, I think that'll do here. Division Charlie seems pretty stacked. We'll see some other games coming up. I believe our next one is on Monday, so we will see you all on Monday. I've been the gaming chef with the amazing Graph the Giraffe. Graph, where can they find you at?
You can see my Twitter handle is in the bottom. Oh goodness, I did. There we go. Got it right this time. So it is at the bottom right of the screen. It is at it's actually Giraffe. Graph is the Twitter, so it's kind of flip flop, but that's what it will be at. Usually it's just Graph the Giraffe, but either way, everybody, it's been a pleasure being able to bring you through this series. And then, Chef, where can they find you at?
Of course, the _gaming chef. Find me everywhere, cooking it up. Got a whole bunch going on, and definitely be seeing me some more in K7. A lot of stuff going on here, and I'm sure we'll see you again, Graph. That's it for everyone that we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we'll see you Monday.
I'm too exhausted, I needed the energy, needed to pick me up. I'm in your movie, but this is my cinema. I got the power, I'm built to devour anyone coming against me at tower. I don't cave in the pressure. Some of y'all leaving here in the stretcher. Took my time to go and get better. I was reading in the red letters. Ay, hit me with your best shot. I got time today. Feeling like a matador with that Red Bull. Oh yeah. No, you can't stop me. I'm running my own play.
We're gonna be handshaking 6.
From Impulsive is now Fury going to be the play.
Last one alive now for Team Final Strike. You back out to middle map. And setting up positioning for this P2. Templar has to play for those rotational spawns. Rated game.
But we're going to be opening it up with Hero, the man. Important, and we already see those purple